there are many reasons which divides the game, and the most important one being racism. So I'm pretty sure that I don't have to explain what racism is to you all, but the instances in football that happen due to racism, due to discrimination of ethnicity, races, and color, that is still existing, and it was existing since long. So examples will be like about like, okay, nobody can forget Zidane, right? Zidane is the most iconic player that, I mean, was the most iconic player that we had. And also um, now, even now, like as a coach, he struggled a lot. So his story is not forgotten. Like we know that being born and brought up, being a Frenchman, he was never considered one. He was always a foreigner to his own country. That is something uh, like which also happened due to the game. It's not because if he was a person who randomly lived in France, this would not have been happened. uh, like it must have happened, but then still the the depth of it, or the way it is happening right now, or it happened, is quite different because of the it has got influences from the game. So, and also we know that the 1998 French team was a perfect integration of cultural differences and everything of the whole country. And also last World Cup, 2018 World Cup, also we do remember the French team. It was filled with players from different cultural diverse uh, places. So, and Mbappe and Pogba, they were also embraced by the world. But the stories of, okay, Benzema, who can forget Benzema? So Zidane, Benzema. I mean, if I name one by one, there are lots of footballers that I should name. So Zidane said was like, he said that his performance on the field used to be translated in either way. He plays well for the team, he is a Frenchman, and he doesn't play well, or if they loses, it's his fault. That's how people used to judge, or people used to um, look upon it. And also okay, he was also the first non French origin player to be a Frenchman favorite. So that is also there. And also about Benzema. So Benzema had once said that he was denied to play for France in Euro 2016, and that too because of his Algerian origin. So that's definitely another big example of racism that happens in football. um, and um, and do you did you forget about Dani Alves? I mean, I am sure that you might have heard these names, like Dani Alves and Benzema and everyone, but then not very not a lot of people are aware of the racism that they had to undergo because of the commercialization of the game, and also about sidelining of these news. I mean, yes, it had popularities, but then even then these news did not reach a lot. So Dani Alves, and he being a Brazilian, he had to experience a lot of racism, but then we know how cool the person Dani Alves is. So once a banana was thrown to Dani Alves during a match, like he was playing for FCB Barcelona, and against it was a match against VRL, and a banana was thrown to him. It was a racist a racist act, and like he acted, he took it really calmly and coolly, and he just peeled it off, he ate it, and then he started playing again. But not everybody can do that. I mean, it is why do they do this? They do this to divert their attention, or divert the focus from the game, and to taunt them with their racist comments and everything. So that is what happens. But Danny Alves was, really cool about it. He was really calm about it, and he said a statement that, you need to take these situations with a dose of humor. That's what he gave as a statement. And also, in another instance, he also said that there is racism against foreigners. They sell the country as being first world, but in certain things they are backward. So he's talking about the way people are not, using their brain. People are, still thinking about these racist things, and dividing people, or looking at foreigners in a certain kind of way. And about racism, it does not even it not alone exist in the French society. It also exists in other European countries, like Germany. In the case of Mesut Ozil, okay, so Ozil was uh, Ozil is a third generation Turkish origin, but um, he had to depart from the national team, and he said that I'm a German when we win, but I'm an immigrant when we lose. I mean, how strong that statement can be. So that is another instance of racism that we witnessed in football, especially in European football. So so in case of Ozil, it is like a prime example of how discrimination on the basis of race or ethnicity of a footballer is not merely due to the difference in the skin color or the original country of his birth parents, but mostly due to the perception of his abilities during failed campaigns. So like there are so many instances like this, which if I start speaking about, will be continued forever. There are so many instances. Even in the 2018-19 season, there was 150 plus racism football cases that was filed, or complained. So but we hardly know about every cases. If it is about some um, normal random player which we are not aware of, it doesn't get much international attention. So this is happening in football. And also I don't want to miss Balotelli, because that is really really important while speaking about it. And also it's like a recent um, incident. And he said that Balotelli was really, I mean, is a person who is very optimistic. So he said that I'm Italian, I feel Italian, I will always play for the Italian national team. But people always provoked him. People, especially the fans, they threw once banana was thrown at him, and then he stayed calm. And next time match against Juventus, fans kept singing, there are no black Italians. I mean, that is really something which is direct. And he, even then, I think he kept calm. And then during 2012 Euro time also, he was calm. But then he had gave many statements, like, if anybody will throw banana at me in the street, I'll go to jail, because I'm going to kill that person. That is how he started reacting. I mean, one cannot stop reacting after so many experiences. So that is also there. I mean, this is really a sad side of football, which we are sometimes not paying attention to. Some, like, of course we might be sometimes aware of, but then most of the time we are not paying attention to it a lot, or we are not um, concerned about it. So okay, next next I'd like to ask you, I think if you want, you can mute, unmute, or you can write in your comments, like, anyone who can name some female football players, like, if anybody. I mean, it's not that we are all aware. Yeah, Marta is really famous, and she's a Brazilian. Yes, we have Marta. Other than Marta, and it's also possible that you might say a female. Yes.
Maripino.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, well, okay, Lucy Bronze. In the case of female women footballers, we are not quite aware of them. Even though as someone said, Martha was yes, Alex Morgan is like she's called the Messi of women's football. But then you know, yeah, okay, Samantha. And I bet that there are so many players that you are saying which I'm not aware of. Okay, thank you so much for telling me the names. And now I think maybe I can continue. So, we have so many women players, but we are not aware of. So, um, we alone are not to be blamed. It's not our fault of not, watching the game. It's because of the commercialization and, always football has got this tendency of uh, of being commercialized, and it is money oriented, and where more money flows, that is what is highlighted, that is what is being projected. And uh, okay, uh, okay, so this happens um, when I'm sorry, actually something happened, that's why. So yeah, so women's football do not get that kind of attention that men's football get. And also the pay scale is also quite different. That is because of the commercialization and the things that I've said now. And also that is another example of the division or the difference that, or the border that this transnational football is setting or giving. So next is about I'd like to put some light on Africa and Asia, the condition. So okay, European football is quite famous, the English football, European football, and everything. But what about the Asian and African stories? It's not heard, right? It's because there are so many reasons. We say that football cross borders, football reach everywhere, like okay, football is like a religion. If football was a religion, it will be having followers more than any other religion, right? So even then, um, it lacks somewhere, right? In Africa, we can see that 80% of the whole population, 83% of the whole population of Africa is interested in football. And we can see that when players migrate to another countries, just because they want to play football and they want to fulfill their dreams. They have got, they don't have that kind of infrastructure, that kind of setup, or they are combating against malnutrition and many other problems. So in that condition, Africa is not able to develop their skill, develop their, of course they are developing best players, but then they are not able to rise like Europeans, not like English. Okay, and the same case in Asia. Okay, in India, let's talk about India. In India, okay, football is not a national sport. Even then, in Kerala, especially in the Malabar region, we have got so many people who are so crazily uh, you know addicted, or following it. And we don't have any renowned people who play football in international level, right? So that is the reason, that like that is because we cannot, it's not because we cannot produce them, it's because we are not able to produce them. And so by saying this, I'd like to say that it's not because we are lacking somewhere. It's because merely the desire or the dreams cannot make you the football centric, or football centric nation, or football centric continent, or anything. But you need to have infrastructures, you need to have that um, you know importance given to it. So in case of Europe, it has got like infrastructure. Students starts playing football right from the beginning, but like on the latter side, in Asia, especially in India, we have our prime concern is to premium educations. We don't, support people who want to be footballers, and that's one reason is because we already know that we are not gonna go out of it. We are gonna stay here. So that is something which is like we are confined in our dreams, like we are not able to go outside. So is it like, can we say that football is like world football? I mean, does this idea of world football exist, or is it just Eurocentric? That's what I am trying to say. So you know so we watch all, like most of like international championships, English Premier Leagues and everything. But very like before 3 years, like in 2017, I don't know if it's in 2017, but yeah, like our Indian captain had to plead to the citizens to come and watch our match. So this is also there because that is also kind of you know um, difference that is happening. We are like selective we are watching football selectively, we because of the um, popularity, and also the standard of Indian football and standard of international football is quite different. So that is there. And next next is about, okay, since now I'm in Spain, and I've witnessed a lot of things here, and as I have got many ideas about what's happening here nowadays, I think now I'll switch to speaking about what is happening here. So in Spain, we have like uh, okay, if you are, I'm not sure if you're aware of the Catalonian nationalism and the Spanish nationalism. Are you? So okay, the Catalonian nationalism, okay, yes, you are. So we are having tensions here in football, especially like when you say El Clasico and stuff, because of that. So now I think I'll speak a little, yes, of course, surrounding Barcelona, yes. So I think I'd like to speak something about that. So how these nation state boundaries are influencing the fate of games, and how it is affecting, like it's coming, it's like more than in a pitch, it's like going to politics, it's political more than game. Okay, it's more than a game now. So okay, so you might be also aware of the Catalan referendum that happened quite 2 years back, right? If not, it was a referendum demanded by Catalonia, and Catalonia is home to Barcelona, so it's like it's eastern part of Spain, and it has got the capital is Barcelona, and they wanted freedom, and the freedom to speak Catalan, freedom to be Catalan. And this is not happening in recent times. This was happening since long, since 18th century. So when monarchy ended, Catalonia had little bit of freedom, but then later on they did not have that freedom. So because of that, tensions arose, and there were many protests and things happening here. So and like before World Cup, like in 2017, we have seen Gerard Piqué, the captain, he was seen, I mean, he was literally in tears. I mean, he was he is a Catalan, and he had to take a stand. So he was literally in tears, and he was saying that if I have to, I mean, if he had to step down off the national team, he can do that. So he's also the one who is, one who was scoring in the 2010 World Cup. Um, and it was the first time Spain bagged a World Cup in 2010, and 11 out of 11 players, 7 of them were from Catalan. So you can imagine, if Catalan is separated from Spain, if it is another nation now, Spanish national team would have collided. So that's what happened. That was the tension that in 2017 they all were, um, going through because of the 2018 World Cup coming. So I'm sure that there were so many articles and so many, news were filled with this, and we are quite aware of it. But uh, it's also that I want to say that how El Clasico is viewed political. I mean, how El Clasico is not just a game. It's political than a match, than just a match. Whenever FC Barcelona and Real Madrid are coming face to face, that has got much more popularity than any other. Okay, we have got ardent rivals like Brazil and Argentina. We have got Liverpool, Manchester, and but it is not equal to how Real Madrid Barcelona rivalry is looked upon. So quite years ago, I mean, before, if I say specifically, before Cristiano Ronaldo transferred to Juventus, until then, people considered it to be okay. That is the rivalry between two, star players. That both the team consists of supreme talents, Ronaldo and Messi. That is the reason why it is the classical game. But in fact, that is not. Now, recently, I think there are more, explanations, more research, and more meanings and things coming for it, because it's being discussed now. So now let me, tell you the history, a bit of it. Okay, I don't want to speak a lot of it, because anyways, it's a very complicated and very delicate topic, the Catalan nationality and identity, and also the politics. So I just want to speak it in brief. So okay, so uh, Real Madrid and Barcelona, they are not just teams. They are political identities as well. So if you look at Real Madrid, it's proclaiming its Spanish nationalism, and Barcelona about their Catalan nationalism. So how does this happen? Why it is, happening in football? Because it dates back to right from, the formation of the clubs. The rivalry started even before the club was formed. That is the reason why even now it has got that kind of popularity. And Real Madrid, uh, okay, about Real Madrid, if I say so, Francisco Franco, he was an authoritarian fascist dictator, and he wanted to homogenize Spanish state. And to do that, he banned Catalan. He did not want Barcelona to speak Catalan, or he did not want any other identities. So he asked FC Barcelona, which had in their club crest the Catalan flag, he asked to remove that. So that was not, possible for them, because it proclaimed of their nationality. They feel Catalan, so they wanted their freedom, but then now it's not possible. Now they have to remove the Catalan flag. That's more, that turned it more, um, um, okay, I don't get the word. And we have already seen that Barcelona historically represented the Catalanism, and they wanted to free themselves and to follow their own, identity. They wanted freedom. But Franco used Real Madrid like a political tool. Franco, Real Madrid was like a political tool to proclaim his Spanish um symbolize Spanish tradition, language, and culture. So you can see that Real Madrid, the real and the royal crown that it has, it was because of the support from the direct support from the Franco and Franco regime. So these had played very important role in the rivalry between FC Barcelona and Real Madrid. And in 1943, so in 1943, if you know the Franco's influence had like Barcelona was defeated by Real Madrid in a 11-1 match. So that was in 1943. So this happened in the first leg. They won the match, Barcelona, but in the second leg, uh, they were threatened. They had used their influence upon, and it was because of that they had to lose the match. It was Copa del Generalissimo, and this was uh, which was set up by Franco. So Barcelona was defeated, and many uh, people identified this game as the game that first formed the identification of Madrid as a team of dictatorship and Barcelona as its victims. So all this history has now lot of role in how Barcelona and Real Madrid is viewed inside the Spanish state. And in 20th century, you might know Alfredo Di Stefano. So he's signing to Real Madrid. That was also like a majority believed that Franco had influence upon. Like Barcelona lost him because of Francisco Franco's influence and everything. And also about the motto of FC Barcelona, "Mais que un club." That means that more than a club. So now we know that it's just not a motto. It's about what they feel. It's about, they literally are not just a club. They are more than a club. FC Barcelona do not assert their identity publicly, but then they do it in very other forms. Like they have got this Catalan flag in their club crest. They sing, especially the fans, in the 17-minute 14-second in each home match, the fans sing independence. 17-14 because Catalonia was back to power to Catalonia was back like under the power of Spanish government. That was the reason why they commemorate that in every home match in the 17th minute 14 seconds. So these things happen, and you do not see any other football club or football stadiums with this kind of political proclamations in Spain. Same Catalan, same state holds another Catalan football club, which is RCD Espanyol, but they are not proclaiming any identity. They just play. For them, it's just a match. They just play. They don't put any kind of flags or any kind of chants or anything. But in Barcelona, the case is really different. So this is what is so I'd like to say that this is what makes football like bordered. Like football has no borders, yet it has got borders. It creates borders, it creates boundaries. Like we say that football unifies, but then football does not actually unify, but still it divides. But there are many positive cases and instances that we have like from football. I think I don't have to say that, because we are all aware of it. We are all loving the game because of those aspects, and the spirit or the vibe that we get from the game, and many other things. But these dirty politics and about racism, these things do exist in the football world, and that is kind of really that's what makes the game really uh, dirty sometimes. So, and about here, oh yeah, I forgot to say something um, about the last match in which Barcelona lost to Bayern Munich for the 8-1. So, like in Spanish, I did not live in I did not live in Barcelona. I live in Andalusia, so I get to see the Andalusian version of football, the Andalusian version of their I wanted to say is that here, when the match happened, the 8-1 match happened, the Spanish people are normally so like they have the love for the country. They are like they hold nationalism a lot. They have the flag, and they are like they support their team first and then the next. It's that kind of attitude you can always see in Spain. But then when Barcelona was losing against Bayern Munich, which is a foreign team, which was not from Spain, one could see the Spaniards cheering for Bayern, and they were really literally enjoying Barcelona's defeat. That kind of things can be viewed even now, and I strongly believe that that is the reason why El Clasico and the tension between El Clasico and its popularity exists here. So it does happen. So I think that's with it, and also if you have got any questions, if you have got any comments, maybe now we can discuss about those things. I believe that I did not forget anything. My favorite club is FC Barcelona. So earlier I did not know the politics and stuffs, but then after getting to know more about it, and the way players are suffering sometimes, my love to the club increased, and I'm an ardent supporter of Messi, and I of course love other players too. uh, Choosing this career is something that for me, love for football is like something which uh, you know carried me throughout these years. I mean, I started watching football when I was like in second standard, and yeah, 2002 World Cup. And since then, I was watching the game, and I wanted to do something about it, and then that is why I wanted to follow this. And how far sports journalism is good career option? Okay, about it's a good career if if you have that constant spirit to do it. Otherwise, you might be sidelined and everything. But if you have some desire, if you like something a lot, following a career based on that would be like the best. If you want to be a journalist and you want to do something um, in sports, then this is definitely a good option. And as for me, I haven't really achieved any of my dreams, or I haven't really got any position, or I'm not uh, in a position to speak about it, but still this is what I feel. And who is my inspiration? It's okay, I got inspired as a little kid by Lionel Messi. So I relate every action to something positivity. So, like Messi hitting a penalty and then, losing, and then he trying again will be something, will be giving me some kind of motivation. And that's what, you know, inspired me all the while. Yeah, racism is also visible in Asian football. Racism is not only in football. Racism can be seen in every sport, everywhere, and it's really a dirty thing that exists.
you, Jushna Shahin, for delivering the lecture. And we quite often think about football in a very simplistic terms. And through the lecture, you have taken to the different dimensions of football, how football is mired in politics and the nationalist aspirations when we look into the Barcelonian football. And uh, on behalf of the organizing committee, we invite Nasila from third semester MA English to deliver the vote of thanks. Nasila, over to you.
Hi, Chief Guest of the Day, Jushna Shahin, teaching faculties, and all those who have gathered over here. Good evening. Um, First of all, I want to say that I'm not getting into the political upheavals in connection with the game football, which Jushna has mentioned, because until now, football, especially for me, was a game to watch, to enjoy, and to fight over with my opponent team and all. But you have opened a wide arena behind the game called football, and you have made it its name not just a game, but a very magnificent thing which has got a very kind of political. You have given a much political interpretation to the game. And but what I want to point out is that apart from the politics of football, and you have achieved a goal, and it's very common to have dream, but it's very wonderful to chase the dream and to follow the passion which we have. And from you have mentioned, from what you have mentioned, from what you have researched, from what you have shared to us, I felt like you are a kind of veteran in your area, and you have justified the purpose of your passion, and you have made it worthy. And Miss Jushna, you have become an excellent role model for all of us who are trying top to bottom to pursue our goals. And definitely, I can say that you have taken a road less traveled, maybe a road not taken, considering a Kerala-based girl like us. And it's my privilege to convey my deep gratitude on behalf of Department of History and Research Club of English for your willingness you have shown to be with us on live, to talk to us, to enlighten us with your ideas and perspectives. Thank you so very much, Jushna, and thank you all those who have gathered over here. Thank you so much.